Let's start our polar bear project by creating the background, the stuff that's behind the polar bear. We are going to draw the northern lights on this black piece of paper, and even though the paper is black, you can still see your name when you write it with pencil. So write your name on the back and flip it over. We get to use chalk today to create our northern lights. Let's be smart about the colors that we choose. There are 3 color families. One is called the warm family. Those colors are red, orange, and yellow. All types of red, all types of orange, and all types of yellow. So I'm going to go down my palette of pastels. These are called chalk pastels. And I'm going to pick out all the warm colors from it. The cool thing about color families is that when you mix them together, they look really, really nice. And they also look really nice next to each other. The second color family is called the cool family, or the cold colors. And those 3 colors are green, purple, and blue. All types. Light blue, dark blue, light and dark purple. So I'm going to go through my chalk pastel palette and pick out all of the cool colors and set them on the other side of my paper. Now you can see the warm colors and the cool colors. The last family are all the colors that are left in my palette. Those are called the neutral colors, and they are black, brown, and white. I would not suggest using those colors to color in your northern lights. Usually, those lights are a lot brighter. So you get to choose warm colors or cool colors, and you can use all of them or just some of them. I chose the warm colors, and I'm using the side of my chalk pastel to lightly rub the paper to color it. My job is to almost cover the entire paper, minus the edges maybe, with chalk pastel. Make sure you hold down the paper with your other hand to keep it steady while you color. After most of your paper is covered with your beautiful warm colors or your awesome cool colors, it's time to do something called blending. That's where you hold down the paper with one hand, and with your other hand you gently rub the chalk. Give it a little massage. You can use little circles to blend, or you can go back and forth to blend, or even up and down and side to side. But make sure that you have blended every area of your chalk, because it really makes it look like those cloudy northern lights. Here you can see the difference between an area that I didn't blend and an area that I already blended. It looks a lot softer and more like clouds, more like the northern lights after you blend them well. Please remember to hold the paper down and only use 2 fingers to blend. Ooh, it's so pretty. I love that you can still see some of the pink and yellow and orange. I didn't blend it too much so that it all turned one color. I just love it. When you need to put away your chalk pastels today, make sure that they all go in their little slots. I feel like I'm a little bit too messy to keep working, so I'm going to take a break and wipe my hands with a rag, which you can do too. Chalk is very messy. Luckily, it wipes off your hands and the table very easily. I accidentally dropped some water on the edge of my paper there, but that's okay. I know it's going to dry and you won't ever be able to tell it happened. After your northern lights are drawn, you are going to add some white stars up in the top half of your paper. The bottom half is going to be blocked by your adorable polar bear. You might as well not draw any stars down there. You can draw stars so many ways. You can use X's. You can draw a little snowflake with an X and a T on top of it. Or you can just draw polka dot stars. Remember that video we watched of the Northern Lights earlier? Remember how many stars there were? That was crazy. Way up north, where the Northern Lights happen, the sky is so clear that you can see so many stars. After you've added chalk stars, you get to do something amazing. You get to fling paint on this paper to create 1,000,000 stars. Watch this. I'm holding the paintbrush with one hand, and with my other hand, I am flicking the hair of the paintbrush to splash white paint onto the paper. I probably only need 1 or 2 paintbrush full of white paint. You are definitely going to get white paint on your fingers at this time. Just use a rag. Look how many little tiny stars that added. It looks so realistic to me. I love it. That was so much fun. Make sure you don't go too crazy with the paint flinging. Make sure the paint flings only on your paper and not on your neighbor. And make sure you don't add too many stars so that your beautiful northern lights get covered up. That would be sad. Next time we're going to add the polar bear.